Hey y'all, it's Wesley and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're joining us for the first time. On today's tutorial, we're going to be doing a non-traditional pastel fall ombre look on 3 different cups, mainly because I messed up one, but we're going to be using all 8 glitters that came in the fall box from a Little Extra Ink Epoxy. We're also doing a kickoff giveaway right off the bat. So to enter the giveaway, you're going to have to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're going to have to join my Facebook group, Southern Glitter Glam, which is linked below in the description box. And you're going to have to find the pinned post in the group and follow the steps. We're going to be doing a couple different giveaways, but the main one is going to be a Wesley's favorite box. It's going to include epoxy from A Little Extra Ink, glitter from Glitter Heart Co., a $50 gift card to Mother Tumbler, and vinyl from the Vinyl People. Let's jump in. I'm going to start with a fully prepped 32 ounce hydro from Steel Magnolia that actually came in the ALE Fall Mystery Box and then did not come in the box, but one of my favorite styles, a Mean Mug 14 ounce from Mother Tumbler. And to save time, instead of having to tape off and spray paint to get the bottom of the cups and the handle of the one cup to match the color of the glitter that we're going to be doing, I just used an Arteza acrylic paint marker and just painted it on, and it instantly dried. I didn't seal it or anything. And then I mixed up 5 milliliters of A Little Extra Ink Epoxy, and I spread it on really good on the bottoms and on the handle, because this is a little bit of a chunkier mix, so I just used a little bit more than I normally would. The gold is called Southern Glam. I collaborated with Glitter Heart Co. to make this gold exclusively for the We All Fall Down mystery box with ALE. So right now that is the only way to grab one. I will have the link for the fall mystery boxes linked below in the description. But what I did was just cover the bottom really well, just making sure that I don't have any kind of missing spots or peeks through with the paint or little streaks, because I didn't paint it solid. I just painted it enough to where it would match the gold glitter. And then I focused on the handle, getting it really good. I wanted the bottom and the handle gold because the rest of the cup was supposed to be striped like I'm going to do with the 32 Hydro. However, it didn't work out. I guess maybe, I don't know if it was me, what it was, but it didn't work out. So I ended up doing the coffee cup, a 2-color ombre with the gold and baby blush, which baby blush is included in the ALE mystery box as well. I just made sure the bottom of the 32 Hydro was covered really well. No gaps in it, just a real good coverage. And I just took my scissors and tapped off any extra. So I kind of knew what color scheme that I wanted to go with. I don't know if you can see in the right side corner of the screen. I do have a notebook where I actually drew out the plan for this cup in this tutorial, but I wanted just to double check a reference with the colors. So I went to Google and typed in Pastel Serape, found an image that I really liked the color scheme of, which is close with all the colors in the box. And yes, colors, because there is 8 shakers of glitter in the ALE mystery box this month. That's a pound of glitter. It's amazing, y'all. So I'm using double-sided sticky tape that I bought from Amazon. I did a variety pack that had different sizes, so that would be perfect for the Serape look. And what I did for the first line was I went down just a hair from the rim of the cup, trying to keep it as straight as I can. The reason that I went down some is because once we put epoxy on, we're going to sand down anyway to expose a fine line of stainless steel all the way around. And I didn't want to tear up the tape, okay? So that's why we went down just a hair. This double-sided tape I got from Amazon. I will have it linked below in the description box. You could use the 3M brand double-sided tape if you want to, and I'll have that option listed below as well. So I already have one layer down. So once I kind of figured out the pattern as far as sizing that I wanted to go with all the way down the cup, I'm going in with my second row of tape. So I'm just butting it up as close to the first one as I can, wrapping it kind of tight. I don't want to pull it tight, but I'm trying to get it tight and smooth, and laying it all the way down. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of an overlay. So you want to overlay your tape just a hair, and then I'm going to pull up the backing of one side. You can see me doing it here. I tried to slow it down so you guys could see it. And I'm going to take the other side that I just cut and press it down on top of that, and then pull the backing back over the top, okay? What that did was create one line of constant sticky tape. So when I pull the backing off the tape, it's going to make it easier, so it'll just be one line, but it's going to leave one solid line of sticky, so it'll be a solid, beautiful line all the way around. So I'll do it one more time a little bit slower. I'm just wrapping it all the way around, and each time I'm not going to cut in the same exact spot. I don't want to be like a constant line, so I'm offsetting it just a little bit. Once I lay it down, I'm going to pull the backing off of one side, just the hair, not all the way, just lift it up. And then I'm going to press the other side down on top of that, making that constant line, and then putting the backing back down over the top of that one. And then I'm going to go all the way down the cup. So you can do whatever sizing you want. So like big, small, small, big, small, small, a little bit bigger, small, small, which is whatever floats your boat, which is kind of what I did. So I'll do one more line so you can kind of see the whole process of it, and then I'll speed it up. All right, so once I have the whole cup completely done, what I did was took just a little fine point Sharpie marker, and I did little initials on each strip so I would know what color it was supposed to be. So I'm going to start with the darkest color first, which to me, pistachio in the box is the darker color, but I'm just going to rip off, and I'm not like ripping it off, I'm just taking off each line of the backing where the stripes for pistachio, that green color, is supposed to lay. So I'm just going to take it off, and then my pistachio is in a bag. I promise yours is in a shaker. Don't panic on me for that, okay? Yours is going to be shakers. So the box all has shakers in it, but I'm just going to take the pistachio going around each line, okay? So I'm not just flooding the whole entire cup, just where those spots where it's supposed to lay is going to be. Now I did the top line as pistachio, but I ended up going back over it with the gold because I didn't like it, which in the end I completely ruined this cup anyway. And then we jumped to the ombre. So I just wanted to show you guys this process of this cup, what it was supposed to be, and I'll do another full tutorial on this later down the road. But I was super proud of this cup, so I thought I would just include it in, which brings us to why we are doing 3 different cups in one tutorial, which is why this is a little bit longer. But what I did was, once all the lines were covered, I just took my gloved finger and kind of pressed the glitter down on the line, okay? So all the way around where the tape is, I'm just pressing my finger down and just making sure it's all pressed in really good, kind of cleaning it up as much as I can with my finger. And then I'm going to take just a bristle brush and wipe off or kind of shake off any of the extra excess glitter that may be laying there, which you'll see me do in just a second. Which I'm just going in with the brush very light-handed. I'm not going in real heavy and really trying to like take off all the glitter from where the tape is at, just the extra on the other strips, okay? Then I went in with the second darkest to me, which maybe I'm backwards, I don't know, but this was the second darkest to me, and this is Peach Parfait. So same thing, I just pulled off all the strips where I should have the Peach Parfait, and I just covered those spots all the way around the cup. All right, so once I finished with the Peach Parfait and cleaned it up, I went in with Baby Blush and did the same exact process all the way down the cup where I wanted those stripes to be. So once I finished with Baby Blush, I went in with Sunflower, then Ducky, then Fairy Tale, then Stardust. And then lastly, I went in with Southern Glam, which is the gold, which I guess technically when I thought about it, the gold was the darkest of the colors of the 8, but gold was a little bit of a chunkier mix. The rest of them are fine. So I did save it for last because I thought it would be a little bit easier to work with after the fact. And once you're through with every line, all the colors, and you press everything down, any little shards that may be up, roll it around on the paper, tighten it all up, brush off and tap off any of the excess glitter. If you see any lines that may be a little bit messed up, or there may be one that may not be covered as good, you can always go in with a fine tip like paintbrush and some Mod Podge and fix those spots individually colored at a time and kind of go all the way down just to make sure. But Deb with ALE really had a vision for these non-traditional fall pastel colors, which this 8-cup color combination was absolutely perfect. It was the perfect colors. I feel like we pulled it off and I ruined the cup. So once I had that done, I sealed the cup with 2x matte clear Rust-Oleum spray paint. I did 2 good coats of that and then mixed up a little extra ink epoxy and did 2 coats of a little extra ink on both cups. Once that second coat had cured, I was going to go in and do like a spiral wrap around the cup to place the logo on. Hated it, didn't like it, scraped all the paint off, stripped it, soaked it in some citrus strip. I don't know if I didn't wash the cup good or not, but I thought I did, so I was like, let me just do a small white acrylic circle, dab in some acrylic paint on a paper towel, making a circle base for the decal. I did a waterfall effect with the gold glitter, but like I said, I don't know if I didn't wash all of the citrus strip off or whatever. I don't know. The cup was jinxed at this point, apparently. I was absolutely crushed that this cup was ruined. I really wanted to get this tutorial out before I left to make my trip down to ALE, Glitter Heart Co. Mother Tumbler, and the vinyl people, so was a little upset. Didn't really want to have to completely scrap this tutorial and forget it because these colors are amazing in this ALE mystery box and I really wanted to showcase it with you guys. So I completely had to restart on cup number 3, which I used another 32-ounce hydro from Steel Magnolia, and I prepped and sanded and painted it with Rust-Oleum Candy Pink. So I thought that would be a good base for the lighter pink colors. And what we're going to do is just do kind of like an ombre effect, rainbow effect with all 8 glitters. So I was a little nervous to try to do this one, but I was super impressed with how it turned out. So I was like, why not let's just showcase 3 different looks. So you give you 3 different options on what to do with the colors in this mystery box. So I started at the bottom with Baby Blush and I covered the bottom really good and then tilted the cup downward to kind of let the glitter fall maybe 1.5 inches up, tapped off the excess glitter, and then I went in with Ducky. So I kind of just started at the bottom of Baby Blush, went all the way around with Ducky, and then worked into the Baby Blush, blending the colors together. So the first pass is through with the colors. I'm not going to care too much to make sure that the ombre is completely blended in together because we're going to go over each color glitter several times, making sure that we get that really good ombre effect. So I am bringing Ducky into Baby Blush a little ways, but I'm going to make each strip of color about, I don't know, like 1.5 inches maybe. I'm not going to do quite 2 inches, but I'm tapping off the excess each time. So I'm going to go next in with Pistachio, doing the same thing. I'm going to make my little strip around and then I'm going to work Pistachio into Ducky. And by doing this color ombres over the baby pink spray paint instead of a white, it is making it more of a pastel color, so you can tell the glitter that's fallen off onto the paper is not as bright as what's going over the cup, but it was, I don't know, the perfect base to keep it that pastel colors. So after I went in with Pistachio, I did go back over with Ducky, trying to semi-blend those colors in together because Ducky and Baby Blush blended in so good together. Next, I'm going to go in with Sunflower and blend in the sunflower into pistachio. Again, my pistachio and sunflower are in bags and not shakers. Don't worry if you get the ALE Fall Mystery Box, all 8 will be in shakers. Okay, this was just mine and it happened to be in bags. But I'm going to go back and forth between the sunflower and pistachio, just making sure I have that really beautiful ombre and there's not a harsh line. So once I was semi-happy with the way sunflower looked for the first few passes, I went in with peach parfait and did my pass around like 1.5 inches with peach parfait, tilted my cup down, starting the ombre for the next color, and then kind of worked my way back and forth between sunflower and peach parfait, just like I did all the rest of the colors. Now you may be thinking, Lord, Wesley, girl, your lines are awful. They're not blended. But you guys, y'all have to trust the process, okay? I went through several passes back and forth between all the colors, even once I finished, okay? But once I was happy with the way that looked, I went in with Fairy Tale, which is only our 6th color. And I have struggled a little bit blending the Fairy Tale with a peach parfait. And once I got all the way around the cup and blended it in and started my ombre, I don't know if it's the size different of the cuts of glitter between Parfait and Fairy Tale or if it was the color, but I still had a little bit more of a harsh line that I wanted and I wasn't 100% happy with it. And we had only used 6 of the 8 glitters out of the box. So I still needed to use my other 2 glitters, which I knew what I was going to do with Southern Glam, but I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with Stardust. So I went in one final time around all 6 colors, just trying to blend those ombre colors and lines a little bit better. I still wasn't 100% happy on some of the harsher lines, so I thought what better way to bring Stardust into the colors. So Stardust is a beautiful ivory cream color from Glitter Heart Co. and it is included in the box. So this is the 7th color that you guys are seeing, but I just went in really heavy between the lines. So between all 6 colors, I just went in really heavy all the way around, and the color hue between Stardust and the other colors just picked up beautifully and helped blend in perfect. It was a perfect choice. So once I was really satisfied with the whole overall look of all the ombres, I tapped off all the extra glitter that may be there, and of course rolled the cup around in the paper to flatten it down so it would save us some extra time and headache. And then I spray sealed it with Rust-Oleum 2X Clear Matte. And after that dried 30 to 45 minutes later, it was ready for epoxy. I mixed up 30 mLs of a little extra ink epoxy, which y'all already know. This is my favorite epoxy and it's the only one there is to use, right? So epoxy does come in the mystery box as well. So if you wanted to try it out, this is the perfect starter go-to set. I won't say any more until you snag one of the boxes and you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm just carefully going all the way around each color individually, so I'm not like trying to spread, which I sealed the cup so the glitter shouldn't have shifted, but if there was any that wasn't sealed really good, I'm not moving any around, taking my time going around each glitter color once at a time. Now I did, after this first coat of epoxy, which was 30 mLs, it dried, which only took 4 to 6 hours. I immediately went in with a second coat, and I only went in with maybe 25, I can't remember, it was either 20 or 25 mLs for the second coat. I did let the second coat dry and cure for 8 hours before I went in on the next step. After each coat of epoxy, what I'll do is I'll let my cup spin for 5 to 10 minutes, let any little micro bubbles rise to the top, and then I take my torch and pop any of them that may still be there. After that second coat of epoxy had cured 8 to 12 hours later, it was completely smooth and it was ready for the next step. So you do want your cup to be as smooth as possible for this next step, because if it's not, you're probably going to be able to see it through the paint, because I didn't do the paint really thick. Okay, I just kind of lightly took some white acrylic paint on a paper towel and dabbed it around in a circle to where it would really make our clear cast decal from Gracefully Created that came in the ALE mystery box really pop. And it's going to really make those pastel colors of that pop. and I just dabbed it around in a circle, let that dry for about 30 minutes in front of a space heater, not too close because it will crack, it'll make the paint kind of crack on it, and you don't want that. So I sealed it with a clear Rust-Oleum matte, and while the spray paint was still wet, that clear matte spray paint was still wet, I just took a little bit of the gold, which was our 8th and final glitter of the box. It's the Southern Glam. I just drizzled it around the cup, just sprinkled it around really lightly. I did not go in heavy. I even kind of just used my finger and moved some spots around, but very easily, just very sparsely, just drizzled that gold, avoiding the white spot. I did not want to get any gold in the white circle whatsoever. So since I applied the glitter with clear matte spray paint and the white paint circle had already been sealed with clear matte, I did not feel the need to go back in and spray it one more time. Should I have? Maybe. Could you? Yes, of course. I just didn't. I saved myself that step because the paint was applied with that clear matte, so it was already kind of sealed anyway. But any little spots that weren't, when I put epoxy over it, and it shifted a little bit, it allowed me to kind of move and place those pieces where I wanted to. I really took my time on this step because I really wanted to avoid any gold glitter or any little specks getting inside that white circle. So I had mixed up 20 milliliters of a little extra ink epoxy and just spread it all over very carefully. After this coat of epoxy had cured for 6 to 8 hours, then it was ready to go in with our clear cast decal. Now, if that coat of epoxy is not completely smooth, the best thing to do would be sand it down and apply another coat of epoxy before applying your decal. You want it to be completely smooth under the place where you're going to put your decal, because you don't want to see any imperfections through it. Since this is a clear cast decal, or even if it was vinyl, you would want it to be completely smooth. Once you place that on, then you're ready for your final coat of epoxy, which my final coat of epoxy had to be done in Cape Coral in the hotel bathroom. I made a trip down to Cape Coral, Florida to visit Glitter Heart Co., Mother Tumbler, and the Vinyl People, and then went over to Hollywood to see the ALE warehouse and my ALE family. I wanted to try to finish this up, so my weird self took the tumbler with me and applied my final coat of epoxy in the hotel bathroom. But this cup turned out gorgeous. I'm super proud of it, despite the fact that I ruined the first cup. I think I almost love this one just as much as I was loving the very first one. And the Mean Mug 14 ounce from Mother Tumbler turned out beautiful as well. Overall, I'm super excited. Sorry this tutorial was forever long, but hey, we went through 3 cups in one tutorial, so that's gotta say something. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget about the huge giveaway. And as always, thanks for watching, and I love y'all.